All right, what's up, everybody? Good evening. Welcome to Nightcap with Scone, a show that was born out of quarantine when wasn't nobody doing nothing. So we said, hey, let's have a pour and talk about whatever it is in the world that you all want to talk about. And by popular demand, we have kept this show going even with quarantine over. So on Whiskey Wednesday, we have a pour and we talk about whatever it is that you all want to discuss. So fire away. If you're new to the show and you're watching us live, just know that I'll be here for as long as y'all want to be here. Just be patient with me. I'll get to all of your comments in time. So let me know what you got in your glass. As always, we're brought to you by Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Do business with someone you know. GameCoin, thegamecoin.net, the first sports crypto with a purpose. MyCleanLiving.net, NASA technology inside of their air purifiers clinically proven to eliminate COVID-19 and dozens of other harmful pathogens. And my girl Crystal Poche over at Restored Motions. If you have pain, relief is one session away. Okay. How about some Old Elk tonight? One of my personal faves, the straight wheat whiskey barrel pick from Calandro's. I was lucky enough to help them with this pick. Set the label there. Straight wheat whiskey, and I will be drinking tonight in my GameCoin glass. To the moon, everybody. Well, let's hear the angels sing. All right. Give us a little pour, y'all. A little pour here. And how about a cheers, everybody? Put that right there so y'all know what we're drinking tonight. Cheers, everybody. Game didn't go like we hoped tonight. Tigers lose to Alabama. They fought like hell, got down 13 in the second half. Will Wade got hit with a technical, lost his mind on what should have been a goaltend, but wasn't called. And then LSU was fouled on the other end. Will ran out on the floor. He got teed up. Thank God he did, because that woke his team up, and they clawed all the way back, got it back to a tie ball game. And had a shot at the buzzer to tie it, sent it to overtime, just didn't fall. But credit LSU for their resilience, man. You lose Darius Days in that game. You're already playing without Xavier Pinson. And but they fought all the way to the end. It was going to be a tough game either way. Even without those losses, it was personnel losses. It was going to be a tough game either way. But Tigers go on the road and they lose. The great news, however, is that Ali Gaye is returning for another season in Baton Rouge. That certainly will help stabilize that defensive line for 2022. Now you've got Ali Gaye on one side, you got B.J. Ojulari on the other. You could certainly play Mason Smith at end if you need to. You can bring along young guys like Xavier Carter, Sony Fanua, who is a veteran guy but hasn't really made a huge impact in his career, is still there, as is Jarrell Cherry for the time being anyway. And they could certainly add more people in the portal. So that's fantastic news, getting Ali Gaye back. The basketball loss certainly sucked. So, all right, let's say some good evenings here. Truax, Danny Brabham, Brandon DeVille, what's going on? Brandon's asking about the fouls. I'm sure everybody will be. We'll get to that. Charlie Gale, Jason Austin, what's good, man? Jeff McKiffin, hey, little old elk. There you go. Mikey Corleone, good morning. These refs must not be good at their job. They're not. All refs are bad at their jobs. I've said that so many times. It's also comical that people think that an officiating crew is out to get your team like it's some grand fucking conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. They're not good at their jobs. It's very inconsistent, and LSU's a team, by the nature of how they play, that is going to be whistled for a lot of fouls. I thought they missed a very obvious goaltending, or something that should have at least been reviewed, when Will Wade absolutely lost his mind. I also think the play at the end with Imwani Wilkinson taking the ball away in the air was one of the most obvious fouls I've ever seen. He had half the guy's arm and he had body contact. That should have absolutely been a foul. So you had some go your way and some that didn't. But the discrepancy tells you, by the way, it evened out in the second half, and LSU was fouling at the end of the game. So the discrepancy tells you it's partly the style of how LSU's playing, and they are. They're an aggressive team. They press. They pressure the ball. They reach a lot, so you get a lot of ticky-tack fouls. I'll tell you, I hated some of the offensive fouls away from the ball. One in particular against Efton Reed when he had a defender on his back. I thought that was a miserable call. And I think by and large, if you actually watch college basketball, you realize that most college refs have no fucking idea what they're doing when it comes to block charge. And boy, do they love to call a charge in college basketball. But you also had boneheaded turnovers. Like, you're trying to get a shot up in the final 30 seconds, and your best player, Tari Eason, dribbles behind his back and dribbles out of bounds. I mean, y'all, you have Eric Gaines, who's out of control a lot of times, coming up and down the floor. You know, he had 3 turnovers in this ball game. It's why you miss Xavier Pinson, man. You need Xavier Pinson out there. He's your best ball handler. He is the fluidity to your offense, and you miss him desperately right now. That's not even a question. But yes, the refs suck. They always suck. They're not good. Like, if you actually watch college basketball, you realize this. In no game in college or ref, they're all bad. They're very bad at their job. Let's see. Vino Frazier, what's good? Do you think LSU should pick up the transfer Georgia wide receiver? So for those that missed it, Georgia had a wide receiver enter the transfer portal. A lot of people are talking about it, obviously, because Cortez Hankton was the Georgia wide receiver coach who just came over to LSU. Jermaine Burton is his name, by the way. Cheers. Excuse me. Turn my glass so you can see the Game Coin logo. So, could Jermaine Burton come in and play right away for LSU? Absolutely. Especially a veteran player who knows the expectation of his receivers coach too. But let's see. Burton had 26 catches for 497 and 5 touchdowns this year. Had a couple of catches in the championship game. So could he come in and be a contributor? Absolutely. John Melanson, what's good? Clint, what's up, man? Raymond, good evening. Alex Day, what's up? Malcolm McKay, tough loss. Carl Ravage needs to stick to baseball. He hates Taylor Fontenbon. Okay. Braden LaRussa, what's up, Braden LaRussa? Good to see you there, man. Let's see. What does Will Wade need to get the team back on track? He needs Xavier Pinson back, most importantly. And look, man, here's the reality, y'all. We all knew. Let's be honest about something, okay? Y'all just step back, be unemotional for a second, okay? Just step back for one quick second. We all knew the first 7 games were going to be brutal. Fair? Fair? We all knew it. You're playing 7 games against ranked teams, or, well, like, all that were ranked when conference play started. Florida and Bama are no longer ranked, but Bama at one point was in the top 10. 7 really tough games, 4 of the 7 on the road. My contention was win your home games, split the road games, you're 5-2. Well, you can still split the road games if you win at Tennessee on Saturday. You'll go 2-2 in the road games, and you'll be 4-3 in that stretch. What I didn't account for was losing at home against Arkansas. So losing this game isn't a surprise, especially with no Darius Days, no Xavier Pinson. Losing this game to Alabama was no fucking surprise. They were an underdog and deserved to be. So I don't worry about this game. You still held Alabama to 70. They average 83 a game. You held them 13 under their total. LSU needs to get its offense in gear. I would love it if Adam Miller were on this team. He's not. But when you don't have Xavier Pinson, who is the guy that generates the flow of your offense, it's going to be tough. Like, you're seeing how badly you miss him right now. So hopefully he's back for the game against Tennessee. Ryan Amanda Guidry, what's up? Jason Austin, way to fight tonight, but we as Tiger fans need to stop blaming the officiating every time we lose. LSU makes boneheaded fouls. So true. Not only do they make boneheaded, yes, they absolutely make boneheaded fouls. Not only boneheaded fouls, they're boneheaded plays. Do you realize that in this basketball game tonight, LSU turned the ball over? LSU turned the ball over 20 times in this game tonight, y'all. 20 fucking turnovers. By the way, we curse on Nightcap. 20 turnovers. Y'all, come on, man. Like, 20 turnovers. They had 16 the other night, or the other day against Arkansas. That was egregious. 6 of those were charges, were offensive fouls. We had 20 in this ball game. How can you win on the road against a good team turning the ball over 20 times? Come on, man. Like, I'm not going to sit here and laud the officiating. They were bad. They're always going to be bad because they're all bad at what they do. But you can't turn the ball over 20 times on the road and blame someone else. Do you realize Alabama didn't make a three-pointer in the second half? They went over. They did not make a single three-pointer in the second half. None of them did not make one three-pointer in the second half. And missed 5 foul shots down the stretch. I mean, Bama was 21 of 32. They missed 11 free throws, including 5 down the stretch. They could have blown you off the floor. All right. Randall Offrecht, what's up? Adam Fontenot. Jerry DeLucky. Alex Day, what's your prediction on the starting baseball lineup? Okay. McManus catching, Morgan at first, Doty at second, Barry at third, Thompson at short, Dugas in left, Cruz in center, Joe Bear in right. Beloso DHing, or the kid from West Monroe. Game in Knoxville is huge. Tigers need to find a way to pull it out. I agree. LJ Murray, what's up? Joe Delmonico. Sazerac Rye in a Moscona fashion. I love it. Gabe Robinson, what's up? Joseph Armato. Trey Willoughby, what's up? Trey Willoughby, good to see you there. Bobby Honeycutt, what's up? Austin O'Quinn, how far of a stretch is 10 wins next year for football? I'll put it to you this way, Austin. I think LSU's win total in Vegas will probably be 8. And I'll be curious if it gets bet one way or another to 7.5 or 8.5. But I think you can win your non-conference games, and if you go 4-4 in the league, you're at 8-4, and I think that's a hell of a first year considering what Brian Kelly inherited. It's a conspiracy essay. Robert Griffin, what's good? Josh Giraldo, way too early projections for the weekend rotation. They're going to give Fontenot a chance to go on Friday. So Fontenot, Javen Coleman has got to be in there. And I really think Ty Floyd is your other great arm. And that gives you 2 righties and a lefty. I'm curious to see if Fontenot can stay in the rotation. I don't know. I definitely want to see Raiselman, a guy who can freaking throw 100. Mikhail Hilliard, I think, certainly has a role. They got a bunch of arms, man. Schaefer's a lefty transferred in from Southeastern. They got the lefty that transferred in from Arizona. They got arms, man. Blake Money. I mean, they got arms. It's just going to be a matter of how they figure out the roles. Matthew Pittman, Brenton 70403, what's up? Hal Jubin, Evan Landry, good wheated whiskey for a beginner. That's affordable. So not wheated, wheated, WHEATED. So it's got wheat as a component of the mash bill. Just so you know, you're not looking for weeded, right? Wheated. If you can find Weller, that's the green label, the special reserve. That would be a great place to start. Hard to find though. Larceny is a wheated bourbon that you can find. That's really good. That's affordable. You can find anywhere. They're hard to find, man. Hard to find good wheated bourbons that you can find anywhere. Brandon, what's up? Jerry DeLucky. Devin Kelly, what's up? Like the orange caution Hudco shirt, bring on the hustle. All right, you know what? I'm good with getting off to a great start right here. I'm really okay getting off to a fantastic start and making this happen right from jump. Y'all sing it with me. You know the words.
Someone you know, Scone and Terrio. All you need is Hudco. Call Hudco Roofing. 364 1007.
All right, y'all. Roof repairs, roof replacements. We can even soft wash your home. Call us at Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know, HudcoRoofing.com. Brandon DeVille, 25-10 fouls. Matt didn't even out. The second half evened out Brandon DeVille. And you were intentionally fouling at the end of the game also. How about this, Brandon DeVille? Don't turn it over 20 fucking times. Jason Austin, Jonathan Lambert, Brandon Deaton, Randall Arroyo, Joseph Guidry, Harley Doucette, Brandon Deaton, Brandon English. Oh, what are you drinking? I am one of my faves, man. This is my Old Elk straight wheat whiskey pick from Calandro's. That's what I got in the glass tonight. Old Elk. Enjoying it. Let's see, Burton was committed to LSU for a long time, decommitted for George on signing day. God, I forgot that. Casey Smith, cheers, Matt. Game going to the moon. Another week of buying more. Encourage you all, not that this is financial advice, but buy the dip. TheGameCoin.net. There are how-to buy videos at TheGameCoin.net. First sports crypto with a purpose. We've announced the platform developer. Should have our NFT platform live within 30 days or so. Very excited to have our GameCoin athletes developing their NFTs and selling them on the GameCoin platform. It is all coming together. It is exciting. There is progress every single day. All of crypto is in the shitter right now, and the price of Binance Coin brings our price down. We explained that on the AMA with David Mailer on Friday, but I'm telling you, man, you got a chance to buy the dip. Good luck, man. Go get it. Pedro Baladeres, dribble and turnover issues. All technical issues that need to be addressed and coached. Hopefully losing streak stops next week. Listen, a lot of this is remedied when Pinson returns. It just, yeah, I mean, this is a guy that averages double figures for you and leads your team in assists. The offense flows through him. He brings the ball up. He gets the action started. It's naive to ignore his role, his absence in the role that's playing right now in the offensive stagnation. And still had a chance to win it at the end. David Tolson, what's up? 10 push-ups for each turnover. Whew. You'll be here a while. Bill Gallion, what's up? Gary Petrie, Nick Pellissier. Maddie Gladden, a night for me. Stuff is fantastic. All right. Brandon DeVille, Matt, will you be doing companion shows during baseball? Unfortunately, I will not, Brandon. I work for Guarantee Media. Guarantee is the flagship affiliate of the LSU Sports Radio Network. So Guarantee has a contract with LSU Sports Properties. And Guarantee and LSU SP just in the last few months renewed the contract. So I don't know how long their new was, 7 years, whatever, I don't know. Well, LSU does not want Guarantee hosting companion shows. They see it as a competitor to their broadcast. So, and my point was, well, okay, well, I won't do it on the ESPN social media, but LSU can't tell me what the fuck to do on my own social media accounts. And I was told by my bosses that no, they want to extend that to all Guarantee employees, and they specifically mentioned the companion shows we did for baseball. Here, you want to come say hi to Dad? Drew, you want to say hi to Dad show? Come see.
No, period.
Come say hi.
Hi. Da, period.
Oh, whoa. What's up, Twinkle Toes? Want to come say hi? Come here. Hi. You say hi to everybody?
Here.
Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
Well, that was the most cheerful, joyful little hi I ever heard in the history of the whole wide world. What sound is that? What makes that sound? Hey, what makes that sound? Oh, what? What makes that sound? Huh?
What?
Is that hilarious? Is that hilarious? Hey, I have to tell you something. I have a secret. I'll tell you something. I'll tell you a secret. I'll tell you a secret. What? Is that the most funniest thing in the history of the whole wide world you ever heard? All right. This is Drew, everybody, for those that aren't aware. Huh, my boy. Oh, my boy. Yep. Did you have a good day today? Huh? Did you have a good day today? Hey, where are you going tomorrow? To where? To where? When you wake up, Daddy and Drew go for a ride to where?
Newton. Newton.
To the New St. Lillian.
Oh, ta-da, ta-da. Hummy, hummy. Hummy, ha, ha, ha.
I love you.
The new car.
We will go for a ride. Daddy's new car. Daddy's new car. Oh.
To
Well, Daddy's new car is Daddy's rental since he got.
we're going New St. Louis.
I love you. We will go to the New St. Lillian.
Yeah.
To the New St. Lillian. And we will see Miss April.
McCarthy.
Miss Claudette. Sk. Sk. Sk.
Scholar.
Skylar.
McDonald.
Miss Diane. And who's gonna pick you up?
Mimi pick it up.
Mimi. Did you just fart on me? Did you just fart on me? You did. Oh, now you want to kiss. You did just fart right on my leg. What do you see? Okay. All right, let's see what everybody's saying. Ben and Saya, how is Gaines our only true guard other than Pinson? Well, you have Justice Williams. Brandon Murray's more of a shooter. And it would have been really nice to have Adam Miller on this team. But your best scoring option has a torn ACL. Let's see. Matt, I know you're not on the bus of paying Think the Saints Armstead $23 million. I am sorry you can find more dependable left tackle for 12 or 13. No, you can't, Brian. No, you can't. Because when Toronto Armstead is healthy, he's one of the best in the league. And you're not going to find...
God.
Sk. Sk.
God.
We got to get that tooth.
No. We're going.
We need head coach cheerleaders. Nick Bradley Hold. Do you think Kelly will add another quarterback in this class? So they added some kid, Nick, from Tarleton State or something. I don't necessarily count that. I would love it if they would add another quarterback. I don't know that they will, because if a kid's in the transfer portal, he's probably looking for somewhere to go where he can play. And that ain't going to be LSU very likely this year with Brendan back. Oh, I got him. Got him. All right, we'll see you later. Bye, Drew. Let's see. Jim Stevens, what's up? Chance Babin, did I miss the Ollie Gaye news? Any word on Deion Smith? Ollie Gaye is returning. Deion Smith is not. I don't. I think people have been confused because of that Instagram story that Keishon Butte posted a few weeks back. Remember, Deion Smith was here for a semester, meaning all of his shit was here, and he's still enrolled in school here. And I mean, just because he was physically back in Baton Rouge doesn't mean he's coming back to the football program. No, he's out. Gabe Daigle, ask your boy Taylor Calandros about Pinhook Bourbon. Nola tie's blown up. About Pinhook, huh? You want me to ask Taylor about Pinhook? Did you want me to ask Taylor about Bourbon Empire? Did you want me to ask him about Bourbon Country? Or did you want me to ask him about Bourbon and Rye? I'm just curious. When you say Pinhook, what did you mean? Did you mean one of those or a different one? What did you mean? Could you fill me in? I'd love to learn more. If you could tell me more, I'd really, you know, I'd like to learn more about it. If you could tell me more, you know, just not too familiar with it. I love flexing on y'all fools. Gabe Daigle trying to walk in here, trying to tell me something about Pinhook. The fuck out of here, bro. Chance Babin, Richard Bordelon. I do like Pinhook, by the way, Gabe. I do a lot. Have you tried Devil's River Bourbon? I have not, David. Tony Williams, Caleb Bernard, the new St. Lillian. Hey, Mindy Hugman, what's up? You think Jerry Jones should lure Sean Payton away? I don't think he will. I think, here's the thing, y'all, about Payton. You got to remember, there are only 32 NFL head coaching jobs. And the only reason a coach might want to leave one for another is if the situation he is in, ownership, management, etc., is not good. Sean Payton has incredible alignment. He's one of the highest paid coaches in the NFL. He has complete autonomy from the owner. He and the GM are in lockstep in what they do. He's beloved by the city, by the fans. Like, Sean Payton's not leaving the Saints to go to Dallas or the Bears or the Raiders. If Sean Payton left, it would be for a front office job or for a TV gig or something like that. Remember, Sean Payton is a Bill Parcells disciple. Bill Parcells was never going to be a coaching lifer. Now, after he left the Giants, he went and did TV for a couple of years, then got back in with New England, and then the Jets, and retired again, and then came back with Dallas. And remember, he was a GM with the Jets. For like, he's that. If Payton does anything, it would be that route. He's not leaving the Saints for another head coaching job. Jason Austin, how long did it take you to learn so much about bourbon? I don't know. I think that's a forever process. You just always can learn more about it. Are you getting one of the 4 roses from Calandros? Absolutely, I am, Brandon. Are you kidding me? Noon Friday. You know where I'll be. Gabe Robinson. I feel like this is a bad loss, even with Days and Xavier out. We should have won this game. Can't shoot. Fouls against is going to be the downfall team. Gabe, you're wrong, man. They were an underdog. They were an underdog on the road against a good team. The game they should have won was on Saturday against Arkansas. That's the one they blew. When you were up 8 points at home with 9 minutes to go, and you let Arkansas go on a 17-2 run to finish it out, that's the game you should have won. Not this one. Like, we've said this from the flipping beginning. The first 7 games are going to be really hard. Win the games at home, split the games on the road. Well, you lost at Auburn, you won at Florida. You lost at Bama, go win at Tennessee, you split the road games. The one outlier is going to be the one you lost at home to Arkansas that you had no business losing. That's the one you should have gotten. Trey, I love your take on refs. Everyone has been on bad end of a call that seemed to determine the game. Can't wrap my head around the idea of refs are in cahoots against certain teams. Because they're not, Trey. And fans who are just small-minded and stupid convince themselves that there's this grand conspiracy for referees to fuck their team. But it's really just insecure stupidity. There's no grand conspiracy for refs to fuck your team. It's just like it would be absolutely devastating for any sport if it ever came out or proven that there was a conspiracy for refs to fix games. It's just stupid. If you think live action in a moment when a 6'10", 230-pound power forward is driving the basket and there's a 6'8", 220-pound power forward trying to block the shot and there's contact and in a split second when a referee blows the whistle and has to make a judgment call, if you honestly think he's processing, oh, well, that's Will Wade over there on the bench, and Will Wade cheated, and we're going to show them, so we're going to call all of these fouls in these moments against Will Wade's team. You're fucking stupid. You're just fucking stupid. Jordan Thomas, what's up? Eric Water, Matt, would you trade our 11 transfers for Ricks, McLaughlin, and Johnson back? Yes. Yes, I would, in a heartbeat. Because those are, Ricks and McLaughlin would make a lockdown corner team tandem, and Max Johnson would be the most experienced starting quarterback that you have on the roster. So yes, in a heartbeat, I would trade the 11 guys that LSU has gotten via the portal for those three back in a heartbeat. It's funny that there's this thing. Well, LSU's got the number one class in the transfer portal. Yeah, because they've got 11 players, and they're going to get more. But I want to be clear. You have to. Brian Kelly's doing exactly... Yo, we've talked about this for months before Brian Kelly was hired. I have said this for months now. This is a unique year where if you are a new coach trying to make over a crap roster that's decimated and down on numbers, like this is a year because you can sign immediate eligibility to the transfer portal and you can sign 7 over your 25 one-for-one transfer. So, shoot, man, they can sign 32 players. Yes, so they're doing exactly what they should do. But is getting a 6'1", 280-pound defensive, 3-star defensive lineman from Missouri, does that make you better? No. Does getting the FCS offensive lineman from East Tennessee State make you a contender? Probably not. Is he good enough to start? Maybe, but that's more of an indictment on your roster. Joe Fouché and Greg Brooks have played a ton of ball, but neither of them are boundary corners. You have a dearth there, I really like Noah Cain. I think he's going to be a great addition at running back. West Weeks gives you another linebacker who's played major college football. I don't know that he's going to come in and be an All-American, but he gives you another body at a position where you are paper thin and a guy that's played a lot of football, But would I take 3 studs over 11 bodies? Damn right. Troy Abear, out of curiosity, why did Stop Locked on LSU start an LSU podcast? Does anyone else call you Maddie like Sean Salisbury? I don't know if anybody else calls. Some people call me Maddie from time to time. So Locked on LSU, good question, Troy. Thank you. So, I'm all about full disclosure. So I did Locked on LSU for 3 years. Started in October of 2018, and I did 700 episodes. So Locked on LSU is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, which is great people, awesome organization, great structure. They were great to me. I'm thrilled to see the growth that the network has had. It's been incredible. And for those that don't know, the Locked On Podcast Network was started by David Locke, who's the play-by-play voice of the Jazz. And he started a daily jazz podcast and then built it with a network of hosts that were doing daily podcasts for every NBA team. And then he added every NFL team, every MLB team, every NHL team. Then they started a college network. Well, I did Locked On LSU. Did it for 3 years. And we built up that podcast to be very successful. Candidly, I was essentially at a point where I was paying my mortgage doing that podcast. It was very good. Very good. the bigger the network grew, it's kind of a dose of irony. The bigger the network grew, the more conflicts I had. There were sponsor reads that I had to do on Locked On that conflicted with sponsors I had on AFR. Locked On. I mean, it's all amazing for Locked On. I mean, they grew. They did a deal with Odyssey, which is wonderful. But Odyssey, which is Entercom, is a competitor with Guarantee, and then with 100.3 ESPN New Orleans, KLRZ, and La Rose, our 100.3 ESPN New Orleans station. And then Guarantee launched the Guarantee Podcast Network, and president of our company was like, we'd really like it if you were actually producing content for our network instead of somebody else's. I was like, I get it. I get it. So the Locked On people totally got it. They were great. I helped pick the next host of Locked On LSU, which will continue. I would highly recommend and hope that everybody would continue listening to that podcast, because the next host I think is awesome. I helped pick that person. And so essentially I'm doing a very similar podcast just under the Guarantee Podcast Network. It's called LSU Daily. So if you like podcasts, it's basically the same premise, but it's called LSU Daily. So if you would go subscribe, Spotify, iTunes, I'd appreciate it. Subscribe, rate us, leave a review, all that stuff's great. Does whiskey taste better the more you drink it, or is it always going to taste like I'm sipping fire? So Ian Ladner, depends on what you're drinking. So if you have an unrefined, higher proof whiskey, you probably are going to feel that Kentucky hug in your chest. If you have something like this, which is a wheat whiskey, wheat tends to be softer and sweeter, so you tend to not have as much of a burn. Plus, it's a little lower proof. So like this is, 111.3 is actually pretty stout. But you don't get as much of the burn. You get a very nice full flavor on the palate, and you get a long finish, but it's not, as you say, like sipping fire. Trey Guy smashed the like button. Thank you, Trey Guy, for saying that. Let's see, 187 watching there on YouTube, 77 likes. Yeah, y'all smashed the like button. I appreciate that greatly. Appreciate everybody for being here. Where are we? Facebook. I'm jumping back and forth. Do you think Musso will ever get a sports question right? He's gotten one or two. Matt knows his shit about bourbon. Yeah. Chance Babin. What's your take on Breeze doing TV? He's got some bad reviews. So calling a game live is hard. Like, this is what most people don't understand. Like when you shit on people like Collinsworth or Gary Danielson, like, it's a really hard job. And the skill in it is making something that's very difficult seem very easy. And Breeze will get his cadence. He'll get his cadence and he'll get his flow. But he went from never doing it at all to doing Thursday night football or Sunday night football and Notre Dame, like some heavy stuff, man. He didn't dip his toe in the water calling FCS games on ESPN Plus. It's tough. He's not great. He's not great. He'll get better. Nick Bradley Hole, where can I send you a bottle of bourbon? 929 Government Street, up at the Guarantee Studios, just care of Matt Moscona. Well, this team doesn't seem to be getting better game by game like last year's team. Jason, I don't know how this, when they beat Tennessee and then go on the road and beat Florida without Pinson, we were lauding this team. You lost your point guard. He's going to be back, and it's going to transform your team offensively. This is a defensive team that doesn't have good jump shooters. They don't have good jump shooters. So they've got to work the offense to work for good shots, and not having your facilitator matters. This isn't a hard concept. You have to realize nobody goes undefeated. Everybody loses games. They're going to lose more. They will lose more games. Mindy, we like Four Roses. Thanks to you. What's happening? So Calandros has a Four Roses barrel pick, which Four Roses picks are very rare. To get a barrel pick Four Roses is super rare. Calandros has one, and it's they're shelving it Friday starting at noon. Limit of one bottle per customer. There will be a line, and it will sell out probably in an hour. Let's see. Glenn Clark, tuning in late. Matt, what's up with the foul disparity again? Surely we're not that poorly coached. We averaged 2 times the other team. I'm not saying conspiracy. I'm concerned. Glenn, so a couple things. Number one, the nature of the way LSU plays. They are going to elicit more whistles. They run full court pressure. They press the ball. They reach a lot. They deflect passes, and in so doing, as aggressive as they are, they're going to get whistled. They are. LSU's going to foul more than the other team. I don't like the disparity at all. And I think referees need to do a better job of managing that. If you're going to call hand checks against LSU, that's got to go both ways. That would be my concern. So, I don't like the disparity. I don't like that you're sending the other team to the free throw line 32 times at all. I also can only look at a couple of fouls a game one way or another where I go, that's egregious. I think when Will lost his mind, I thought that LSU did foul on the other end, but they missed a goaltend, which is why he lost his mind. And he's right. It was goaltending. At least should have been looked at. And it was a big point of the game. But even more than that, it's the thing that you can control are the turnovers. That's the thing that's just like if I said where were the calls tonight that you thought were so fucking egregious, where you had 25 fouls against LSU and 10 against Bama, and keep in mind LSU was fouling intentionally at the end of the game, but even still, where were the fouls that were just so egregious? You're like, man, they just blew that. It's not like it was littered throughout the game. You just had something that was heavily called one side against the other, which is kind of the nature of the way LSU plays. Whereas Alabama bird dogs it and shoots a bajillion threes. Alabama shot 34 three-pointers. I mean, 34 of their 61 shots were three-pointers. More than half of their field goal attempts were three-pointers. Like, that's what they play. They play a perimeter game. I mean, they're not playing a physical, in-your-face game. They're running and shooting threes. They want to get up shots. Man, this is what Bama does. Like, let's look at what they did last time out. Pretty even on the numbers against State. Oh, shit. I'm not fucking scrolling through all this shit. Like against Auburn. Auburn had 24 fouls. Bama had 18. I mean, anyway, I'm just going through all the fucking fouls for Bama the whole year. I'm not that worried about it. Tony Williams, bringing up Tim Donaghy. So you're going to point to the one guy that was an outlier that was outed in the NBA, 20 years ago, and say, like, that's proof that refs throw the games? Like Shoeless Joe Jackson in fucking 1918 is proof that Major League Baseball players are out there throwing games? Are there bad eggs? Sure. If you think it's a grand conspiracy, it's fucking stupid. Chad Pickett, Rickson, McLaughlin, or Butte, Baskerville, and Gaye. That's not a fair trade because you didn't lose those guys. It wasn't an either or with them. They stayed. So it's who went out, who came in is the real question. Matt, what's up? One question regarding GameCoin. What is my share count quantity of tokens? Yeah, they're not shares. Remember, shares is a stock term. You have tokens in crypto. Why does my share count increase without me buying any? So, great question. The way the tokenomics is set up is that every transaction, there is a 7% transaction fee. This is the tokenomics. 5% of that fee goes into a charity wallet. That's the money that's donated to charities, to youth sports charities. The 2% is redistributed back to the wallet holder. So the longer you hold your game coin, you will get back that 7% plus some. So every time there's a game coin transaction, 7% of that transaction goes back to the wallet holder. So your amount of tokens will increase every single day. So the longer you hold, the more tokens you'll have. Clifford Moore, what's going on? Dane Pritchard, what's a good whiskey to try? Elijah Craig Small Batch, $27. You can find it anywhere. Harry, what's up? Darren Gagnon, what's up? I did not hear an update on Days. I didn't listen to the post-game show. Craig Straub, Jason Austin, that's what I'm talking about. Matt, turnovers doesn't seem to be getting any better at all. They got to fix that. Will said last week, he's like, look, I think I can fix the turnovers. I think getting Pinson back will fix that as well, to some degree. We can't seem to beat Bama for whatever reason. I wanted this win tonight. Jason, get him in Baton Rouge. You weren't supposed to get this one. Get him in Baton Rouge. It would have been great to steal that game tonight. They didn't. Get him in Baton Rouge. Kenneth Martin, Matt, do you think the title line infractions were dropped for the football operations to go after Will Wade? They weren't dropped. This wasn't the news we got wasn't the Title IX case. This was the civil suit that has been filed by a multitude of plaintiffs. Do we pause there? Can y'all still see me? I think we're paused there. Oh, God. Sorry, y'all. Are we good? Are we good? Can y'all still see me on YouTube? Facebook, what's good? Somebody said, was Wade's tech worth it? Caleb Clark, absolutely. I texted a buddy. I said, if he said, man, if Wade didn't get the tech, they would have won by a point. I was like, Wade didn't get the tech, they would have lost by 30. I mean, it was like a manager in baseball, like going kicking dirt on the umpire to get his team's attention, fire him up. It sparked him. Let's see. Sorry, y'all. I refreshed, and so I missed a bunch of comments here on YouTube. Hey, do me a favor. If you're watching on YouTube, just let me know if you can still see me, because mine is just buffering. Like I can see it on the phone, but on my app here, it's just buffering. Let me know if y'all can still see me on YouTube, please. Just give me a thumbs up, or just say yes, we can see you, or something like that. Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks, Devin. Okay. What good is the text line if you want to answer about whiskey? I do answer about whiskey. I answer about anything. Roger Dodger, Jackson Dart's better than JT Daniels right now. I would take either of them, honestly. Reed Wilson, Kenny Futch. I just said I can see why Scott Woodward hasn't given Will his extension. No, he hasn't given Will an extension because Will's under contract and he has. You'd be silly to do that before you learn what may come of the NOA, right? They're not going to touch his contract. There's no need to touch his contract. Edward O, one foul on Bama in the first half until the last possession. Okay, what was the egregious foul that you think should have been called? Glenn Garner, Reed Wilson, LSU sway. Do you think the wide receiver from Georgia could transfer to LSU? I mean, there's a lot of talk of that. I'd love to see it. LSU +5. I took the game under. I mean, that worked out okay. Sweated out the last 9 minutes, but 3 at the end saved me. For LSU. Yeah. Should LSU try and land JT Daniels? Yes, I don't think JT Daniels would come here. I think JT Daniels is going to land at a spot where he knows he's going to start. if he's got 1 year left and he's trying to get a full year of tape, I think it just makes the most sense. He's going to go to a place where he knows he can start right away, and not really have to battle for the job, you know. Let's see. My screen is just buffering. I know y'all said y'all could see me. I'm trying to put it up on the TV in here to see if we get it on here any better. As always, shout out to HUDCO Roofing, y'all, HUDCOroofing.com. It would be a massive help to me. A 185 on YouTube, 64 on Facebook. So in all, we're talking about 250 people thereabouts watching right now. I'm so humbled. That's awesome. Somebody among these 250, somebody needs a roof replacement, has a family member, a friend, a neighbor, a coworker, somebody who's got roof issues, who either needs a replacement, who needs an inspection, who's getting the runaround from their insurance company, who's on the schedule for another roofing company, but they're months out before they can get to you. Would love it if you would go to HUDCOroofing.com, fill out the contact form, or call us 364-1007. Give us a chance to earn your business. We would be super, super grateful. Be super grateful. It's buffering. Get it. Oh, fuck it. That sure answered everything. Condolences. The bums lost. The bums will always lose, Lebowski. There we go. Derek Michael. That was the disappointing part tonight. Wade said they could clean up turnovers. Agree. Nick Bradley Hole, who you picking on this week's NFL games? Give me to the weekend to decide. But I will give you picks. I'm really tempted to take Burrow and the Bengals. Tennessee having the week off. Okay, we're good. Tennessee having the week off, and it's pretty cool. First time I've looked at this on my TV. That's pretty cool. I have this show cast on the TV right now. Interesting. Anyway, I think if I was going to pick one big upset this weekend, I think it would actually be the Rams. I think the Rams are a matchup problem for Tampa. I do. I think their defensive line is disruptive and they can get in Brady's face. And I think Tampa's big deficiency is in their secondary. And I think with all of those receivers, I think the Rams can make plays down the field, get into a score fest, and outscore Tampa. I do. I think the Rams can beat Tampa. Let's see. What happened to Cordell Thomas? It's Cardell, by the way. Kardell. It's amazing that guy's been here for 3 years. People still can't spell his name right. But it's okay, Brian. All good. How can you come out as the number one guard flop? Well, actually, Brian, he didn't come out as the number one guard. He was ranked, if you remember, very highly. And then he went to elite prospect camps and saw his star rate ranking drop because he went to elite camps and struggled against elite defensive linemen. And he's just a kid who was a big kid playing against small 1A defensive linemen, throwing them around like ragdolls. And then whenever he got up against dudes his size, he really struggled. He's got a weak lower body. He carries way too much weight in his belly, little lead-footed. He's just an overrated prospect. They missed on him. Same with Ishmael Sopsher. But it's one of those deals where you have a kid that's that highly rated in the state, you got to offer him. You know, you got to go after him. You think there will be any signing day surprises? I'm not sure, Jason. I mean, honestly, I'm not the guy that's on the phone talking to recruits or recruits' families or stuff like that. So I'll just tell you candidly. When we get closer to it, I may have a better idea. I mean, I'll tell you, I know with Jacoby Matthews, kid would love to go to LSU. I mean, he wants to go to LSU, but his family is not well off, and he has 6 figures worth of NIL deals at A&M. I mean, I was told it was $300,000. It's impossible to turn that down. I wouldn't blame him for turning that down. For taking that, I mean. So, it's going to be a part of it. I bet Musso drinks weeded whiskey. I'll thank you. Edwardo, the two ULL players are plug and plays. Well, they got Kyron Lacey. Who's the other one I'm missing? And I, look, by the way, Kyron Lacey is a game coin athlete, Kyron Lacey. I don't know that I would tell you definitively right away that that Kyron Lacey gets on the field. I mean, they've got bodies and depth and talent at receiver with different skill sets. So we'll see where he fits in. Reed Wilson. Thank you, by the way. We're over 100 likes. That's awesome. Thank you all so much. Reed Wilson, Scone, got to bring up Tim Donaghy. I get it. But you're pointing out the one outlier as if that's the rule, not the exception. He's the exception, not the rule. If you think that it's a... And Tim Donaghy was one rogue official. It wasn't a grand conspiracy, as some of y'all seem to think. LSU has different officials for every game, but you see the same result. You think it's a grand conspiracy, or maybe it's just that you have an aggressive team that reaches a lot, that commits a lot of dumb fouls. You're committing fouls 85 feet away from the basket. It's stupid. Are you and T-Bob doing a whiskey and wine season recap? We've talked about it, but haven't finalized anything. I'm down for it. Let's see, Reed Wilson. As much as I love Elias Ricks and Dwight McGlothern, I'm not a fan of Max Johnson. That team was horrible now. I'll agree it was the coach and maybe Brian Kelly. They would be different, but no. Reed, you're just completely dead wrong. Elias Ricks and Dwight McGlothern play premium defensive position, and both are elite at the position. And you have no one there now. You can keep the long snapper and the 3-star linebacker and the FCS offensive lineman. I would take the 2 lockdown corners and your starting quarterback a fucking 100 times out of 100. Jordan Commander, finishing up quarantine just in time for tonight. Grabbed the old elk before I even saw that's what you were having. There you go, Jordan Commander. Reed Wilson, I wouldn't take them back. Then you're stupid. If you wouldn't take them back, Reed, then you're just dying to lose, is what you're dying to do. Foolish fucking pride. I wouldn't take them back. Why? Because they were in a shitty situation with an awful coach who got fired midway through the season, who had racial injustice, his team marching against him and quit on him, making shitty hires while he runs out to go gallivanting, taking pictures with his side piece in bed. Give me a fucking break. You're going to blame the 18-year-old? How about blame the 60-year-old? Brandon Reese, watching Mason Smith and Wiggins on that D-line will be interesting. I'm very curious where they put Wiggins. If Wiggins plays inside or out. Very interesting. Stevie Marenta. What do you think about Brian Kelly's first staff? How would you compare it to past LSU staffs? So, Stevie, if you're interested, T-Bob and I today on the Scone and T podcast, please subscribe. T-Bob and I went through each staff member, and we actually did an exercise where we looked at who was in that position last year, who's in the position this year. There's only 2 from a year ago that you could say definitively were better. It's Greg McMahon and Corey Raymond. Everyone else was an upgrade. So I think the staff is fantastic. Hal Jubin, what's good? Dustin Blanchard, damn it, just can't win a basketball game. Oh, and Gumpaloosa. Hard to win there, bro, for whatever reason. Isn't that bizarre? Like, Alabama is not this, like, great historic basketball program. It's not as if they've had this super elite talent or great coaching or this dominant home court advantage. Like, they ain't that good. Haven't been. But for whatever reason, LSU throughout history has just really struggled to win there. Devin Kelly, how much that Four Roses barrel pick going to run? Probably, I should have asked Taylor that. Probably in the $55 range, $55, $60 range. LSU should be doing everything they can to land Latrell McCutcheon. I agree with you, Reed. You and I agree on that, Reed. Hal Jubin. Before today, we were 9-43. It's a hard place to win at. I don't know why, but it is so true. Will Wade needs to recruit a stone cold shooter or two. Dustin, here's the problem. You have him. His name's Adam Miller. He's got a torn ACL. Adam Miller was good. Like, this is the other thing that people forget. Adam Miller was going, when I made the Final Four prediction, I knew they were going to be this good and active. Maybe not this good, but I knew they were going to be good and active defensively. But I also knew they had Adam Miller. And Miller was going to be their green light scorer. And you took him off the floor. I mean, you took the guy that was going to be your scorer off the floor. So, Tracy Poole. What's up? Glenn Garner. John DeLon. Hi. Efton Reed's a problem. I said he isn't living up to the 5-star rating. Ratings can lie. No, listen. All right, Reed, I want to point this out to you, okay? There was a play early in the game. Well, let me see. It was still first half. And Efton got the ball on the low right block. And he faked inside, went out, got double teamed. He picked up his dribble. And he had nowhere to go, so he just went straight up and did a baby hook and swished it. Efton Reed will be an NBA draft pick that will play a long-ass time in the NBA. Okay? Because the NBA will draft a skill set. And when you see a dude that's 6'11", that's 18 years old, with soft hands that can hit the baby hook, the jump, that can step back and shoot a three, that's long and can defend and can block shots and shit, like, he is an NBA player. Efton Reed will play in the NBA for a long time. I will submit to you that Efton Reed will have the longest NBA career of anybody on this current LSU basketball team. The problem is, Efton Reed's 18 years old, and he's been playing against high school kids. Well, now you step into the SEC, and you're playing college athletes that are comparable size, and some of them are 2 and 3 and 4 years into a college career, and they have a developed skill set, they're developed more physically. Like, he's going to keep getting better. He's just played 17 college games, man. Like, you gotta allow time for development. Bobby, bigger arm, Allen or Mahomes? I think Allen's got a bigger arm, but they're both awesome. Hal Jubin, we lost because we missed too many free throws and got killed on the glass. That's a problem, too. That's a flat problem, too. And granted, Alabama missed a bunch of free throws tonight, too. I think they were 21 or 32. But for this team, with their size and length, to be rebounded 44 to 36 is abysmal. Alabama had 19 offensive rebounds. That's the story of the game. And I get it. A lot of times, when you're jacking up that many threes, you're going to have long rebounds. You have to be able to protect against that. Allowing 19 offensive rebounds is absurd. So, I mean, look, y'all can complain about the refs all you want. I'm not defending them. I'm not defending the officials. I'm just telling you that there's no fix. The fix isn't in. I'm just telling you they're bad at their job, and LSU's a handsy team that's going to get whistled for a lot of fouls. But 20 turnovers, allowing 19 offensive rebounds, and LSU missed 6 free throws. Make your fucking free throws, bro, and you win the game. There are things you could have done to win this game to where you wouldn't even be talking about the refs. Jerry DeLucky guessing Adam Miller would have been a one and done. Do you think he comes back next season? Remember, Adam Miller played last year at Illinois. So he's a sophomore anyway. And yes, I do. I think he'll be back at LSU next year. He's got to play another season. I mean, he plays another season, scores like we think he can score, he'll go be a first-round draft pick. Oh, you're right, Caleb. Thank you. That's, yeah. The defensive back from ULL is Makai Garner. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. That's a good point. And I'll be curious if he plays out at corner. That's a good point. Thank you. I forgot about Garner. Good point. Get Gordon on the phone for Jacoby Matthews. I'm sure they've talked. Barry LaBeouf. What's a place for Baton Rouge for good whiskey in the evening? So Barry, the best selection, Oliver Twist, Lost Cove, Hayride Scandal. Those are probably your best places. Actually, I'll tell you who has a really good selection also is Stabs. Kevin keeps a really good selection over at the bar of top shelf stuff. Like, you can get some good stuff over at Stabs. Any word where Durante Jones ended up? Jason, last time I heard Durante was interviewing with NFL teams. I think he's going to back in the NFL somewhere. Who was Saban visiting at Catholic High? I'm sure it was Shelton Sampson. Roy Henry, do you stick by the Final Four prediction? Well, shit, Roy, I went all in on it. Sure. I mean, I'll grant you, when I made the fucking prediction, Adam Miller hadn't torn his ACL. I mean, you taking your best scorer off the team. And look, 2 games ago, y'all would have said that looks fucking brilliant. But they lost a home game to Arkansas. They lost a tough game on the road by a point at Alabama. I'm telling you right now, Roy and everybody else, we all knew this first 7 games. This is the hardest thing, bro. When you're going, it's easy to say outside looking in, but when you're going through the storm, it always feels worse. But the first 7 games we knew were going to be tough. Then you get A&M at home. A&M's a fraud. They lost tonight to Kentucky. You go to TCU in the SEC Big 12 Challenge. You're home against Ole Miss. They blow. They might be, them and Georgia, the worst team in the league. You're at Vanderbilt. They got Scottie Pippen, but other than Scottie Pippen, they suck ass. You're at A&M, aforementioned. You're home against Mississippi State, who's got some nice wins on the season, but still a game at home you should win. You're home against Georgia, who's dog shit. You're at South Carolina, who it's always sort of a muddy game when you play that team, but you should win it. You're at Kentucky, tough game. You might lose that one, should. You're home against Missouri, who sucks. You're at Arkansas, which is a winnable game. And then you're home against Alabama, which I would love to punch them square in the fucking nose and make them bleed to win the SEC. My point is, after this 7-game stretch, you're going to play 11 games where you're going to be favored in probably 10 of the 11. There's a ton of wins left on the schedule for LSU. And when they finish 13-5 in the league, and either win it or finish second to Auburn or something like that, y'all are going to go, and they're a 3 seed in the tournament, 2-3 seed in the tournament, y'all are going to go, fuck man, you might be right about the Final Four. And I'm going to remind you about this when y'all completely lack perspective. But I love you all. I love you all dearly. And I'm very grateful for you all. Especially if you call HUDCO, HUDCOroofing.com, or if you buy GameCoin, thegamecoin.net, the first sports crypto with a purpose. Learn more or buy at thegamecoin.net. Of course, mycleanliving.net. Y'all, get rid of. Hey, I want to tell you something else about My Clean Living. That's the air purifiers. You see me have one on my desk every day for AFR. That Fresh Air Mobile can purify up to 500 square feet, air and surface, killing dozens of pathogens. They also have something called the Pet Mobile. It's like $100. You plug it in, about 100 square feet. It's perfect for like a laundry room or a mud room. Like if you keep your dog in the laundry room or something like that, it'll clean all that space and it'll purify the air and it will neutralize all of the odor-causing bacteria. So it will take the odor out of like a mud room or a place where you keep your dog. Laundry room. Keep that in mind. Mycleanliving.net. Mycleanliving.net. Chris Susdorf, thoughts on Buffalo Trace? Incredible. One of the greatest affordable bourbons in the world. $20 for Buffalo Trace is incredible. Wesley Randall, this team will be fine. Get healthy and wreck shit. I agree. Trivia Carter, what's good, man? Richie B, team is so frustrating to watch. Great talent, poorly coached. They're not poorly coached. I disagree with that. They just have flaws. Dustin Blanchard, Jay Board, Brandon Reese. Ready to see what the baseball team does? Me too, man. They're going to be good. Storm DeWitt, what's up, man? Trivia, you got the alert late. Trivia, you just got to know, man. 9 o'clock on Wednesday, where we're going to be. That's on you, bro. That's on you. What do you think happens with the Wade investigation? Great question, Brandon. I don't know. I mean, it would be completely speculative because, man, the reality is nobody knows what the NCAA will do because they have the autonomy to do whatever the fuck they want to do. So I don't know what they'll do. Are you going to watch UFC 270? Hell yeah, bro. I'm excited about that. They did Francis Ngannou wrong, stripping him of his belt. I mean, they did him dirty, bro. I hope he does work on Saturday. Let's see. Does Sharon Lewis still work behind the scenes? She does. She's an associate AD, yeah. Okay. Jabari Myers, what's a go-to whiskey and cigar combo for you? Great question. I wish I like to smoke cigars. I don't know a ton about cigars. I'll tell you one I discovered this year that I love is the Macanudo Inspirato. Of course, the yellow label Cohibas are great. I really like Romeo Julieta, an affordable sort of mild, sort of punch, you know. I like AJ Fernandez. There's a lot of good ones, man. I can get down with almost anything. I just like a lighter cigar. I don't like a really dark tobacco. The GOAT, how high do you think Tari gets drafted? He's a first rounder. I mean, when you're 6'8", and you can elevate the way he can to play above the rim, when he can step back and shoot, attack the rim, willing defender, he's a first rounder. I mean, Tari Eason is a first round draft pick. That's not even a question. He has got to learn to go to his left hand, though. He is so right hand dominant. If he ever learns to go to his left, and he will, boy, he's good. He's really good. Like, I look at that and I go, how in the fuck did he get away from Cincinnati? Like, first of all, how did he end up at Cincinnati? Then how did he get away from there? How did he only average 8 points at Cincinnati? Like, he's one of the 10 best players in college basketball right now. He's an All-American. Let's see. Leonard, Sarasota. Good night time, Matthew. My hot take for the evening. LSU will finish no worse than third in the West next season. Kelly's a great hire. Much better than Jimbo. His rumored LSU offer was absurd. Third in the West. Hang on one second, y'all. Talk amongst yourselves. Like, give me 1 second. My eyes are drying out. I just need some drops. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. It's one thing, anyone that's had LASIK will tell you, it does dry out your eyes. So you're supposed to, so I put drops in my eyes every morning and every night. So anyway, sorry about that. Matt, what if the odds to take the first snap next year versus Florida State was Miles Brennan of the field? What do you bet? Brennan. I'd take Brennan. Does LSU get in foul trouble because of playing out of control or playing aggressive? On the offensive end, out of control. Too many charges, which are ridiculous. That's also has to do with the fact that, well, college refs love to call a charge, bro. God damn, they love to call a charge. Defensively, it's part of being aggressive. Should the Pelicans give Zion the max extension or trade him? Max, 100%. I'm a little Lebowski urban achiever. I love it. It's just like your opinion, man. Breeze 9012, what's up? Are any LSU basketball players going to join GameCoin? Oh, it's funny you ask, as a matter of fact. What do y'all think? So we actually have a proposal in play right now for a handful of LSU basketball players to be GameCoin ambassador athletes. I'm not really sure what we're going to do yet. Shane Miller, what's up? Let's see. Brandon Reese, what's up? P Knight 003, Tracy Poole. Have a good night, Tracy Poole. Matt, do you think Ward moves back to corner? Travis, I think he does, man. I think for numbers' sake, he's got to. I think he's got to. Unless if Sage Ryan can play corner as well. Elite Goods, what's up? Eric Wilderrotter, do you see that the New Orleans market posted a higher rating than the Vegas market for Bengals game? Awesome stuff. That's just not surprising, man. I mean, people here love Joe Burrow. I mean, they're going to watch And by the way, the New Orleans market is usually one of the highest rated markets when it comes to viewership for NFL and for major college football games. Just we're a football crazed area, man. It's very consolidated. Brandon Reese. So on Twitter, they ranked SEC head football coaches based on who will be next to win the SEC for the first time. Brian Kelly was ranked first. Do you agree with that? Oh, okay. So you'd be talking about Brian Kelly, Lane Kiffin, Jimbo Fisher, Mike Leach, Sam Pittman, Billy Napier, Josh Heupel, Clark Lee, Eli Drinkwitz, Shane Beamer. And then Harsin. Yeah, I mean, it would either be Brian Kelly or Jimbo. I mean, if you believe Jimbo takes the leap next year, Brian Kelly or Jimbo are the obvious bets for sure. Oh, the Four Roses at Audubon was 80 last year. Good looking out, Mason. I'm sorry if I put out bad info. Or that single barrel was 80. Harris 22 found a bottle of Blanton's today. There you go, man. RD the Mayonnaise Kid. Good night. Scotty Adams. Matt landed a bottle of Blanton's. Been having it 3 months. Saving it as a wedding present for a friend. Probably hardest thing I've attempted in my life. Well, I hate to tell you this, Scotty. Blanton's ain't that great. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's good. It's not that great. It's very, very It's overhyped. It's overhyped because everybody searches for it, and it's got the horse toppers, and it's the cool looking bottle, and they've done a brilliant job marketing it, and it's good. It's a good whiskey, but it ain't fucking what people make it out to be. They make it out like it's Jesus's urine in a bottle. Like, I mean, ain't that good, But anyway. But it is rare. People do seek it, and if you're giving it away as a gift, that is very, very kind of you. Very kind. Very generous. Oops. Sorry, lost my spot. Alabama's LSU's daddy. In football, that's the case for sure. In basketball, it's hard to say that. Because Bama's really been shit throughout its history. They've never even made a Final Four. One Elite Eight. I mean, they're just not that good in history. For whatever reason, that's just been a hard place for LSU to win. Let's see. Can you get Nick Underhill or Sean Salisbury to be the replacement for Mike D on Thursdays? So Underhill, no, Troy, because Nick Underhill will not come on my show because he says he'll only do interviews for people that subscribe to his site. And I do not subscribe to his site or anybody's site because I think paywalls are fucking bullshit. And if you're actually good at what you do, you should be able to generate enough interest in your content to where you can sell advertising. I do not believe in monetizing my audience. I'll never do it. I'll never put up a paywall. So I'm not going to pay for Nick Underhill's paywall when I can get the same information anywhere. So no, I think Nick does a fine job. I really do. But I also think it's super short-sighted of him to not come on someone's show because they're not subscribed to your site because you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. Like, it's not my loss. My show's going to go on and be fine whether he's on it or not. It's his loss not having the opportunity to promote his site to a potential broader audience. But whatever. So no, it won't be Nick Underhill. Like, he's told me he won't come on my show. I'm like, okay, I'm good. And Travis Shaw, Matt shits on us and says, I love y'all. That's why this is my favorite show. But Travis, I'm not shitting on you, okay? There's a difference between, let's call it tough love. Okay, we'll call it tough love, Travis. I'm very grateful for everybody. I'm grateful that you all listen and watch and all that stuff. I am, to everyone that does. I do also think, though, sometimes fans need to be put in their place. They need to be checked against the boards. That doesn't mean I hate you. It's no different than a parent washing your mouth out with soap. Your parent doesn't hate you when they do that. They're doing that because they think it's for a greater good, to make you understand, sort of thing, to help you along your way in your growth and personal development. That's all. Holy shit, best transition ever. I don't know what that transition was for, but anyway. Almost bought a $10 bottle of Old Tub the other day at Oak Point. They've got cases of it. Didn't you say it was really good? I like Old Tub a lot, Devin. I really do. Old Tub is an original mash bill from the Jim Beam distillery. And when they re-released it a year or so ago, maybe a little more than a year ago, I kind of hoarded it. I scored 3 or 4 bottles. It was cheap, $18, something like that. So I've got a stash, but it's very good. Yes, I like Old Tub a lot. Glengar, can we get the hustle? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
When you need a roof, call someone you know. Scone, Ontario. All you need is Hudco. Call Hudco Roofing. 364 1007.
All right, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. You know what I'm going to do? Let's see, Hudco Roofing. I'm going to post the Hudco link here in the chat. Would love it if somebody who needs a roof would call someone you know. Scone, Ontario. All you need is Hudco. Boom. Oh man, we're getting close to the end here. Pitcher from Las Vegas named James Whitaker, committed to LSU 42 minutes ago. Awesome. Love to see that. By the way, I saw Mike Ryan from Rummel committed. That's a Ryan Terrio protege. Terrio speaks very highly of young Mike Ryan. So, Jay Johnson doing work, y'all. Robbie White, what's good, man? Used to get upset at kids transferring or opting out, but me and most LSU fans don't fully understand the plight of these kids. We've never walked a day in their shoes. It's true, Robbie. It's very true. One of the biggest eye-openers, and look, I'll grant you that doing the job I do, I see a lot of it. I do. And one of the biggest eye-openers that I had as a younger broadcaster was when Kevin Minter, who interned with me, Kevin Minter interned at AFR. When Kevin declared after the 2012 season, came on the show. When he was interning, he could not come on air. But once he declared, he came on. And we were talking about the decision. He said, and it was that pointed. Like, I still remember it. He said, I mean, it's been 10 years. And he said, I'm just, my mom is never going to struggle again. I'm done watching my mother struggle. And Kevin's a great guy. Kevin's married. He and his wife have 2 kids. Just an awesome guy. But you realize for you and me, you're just cheering for All State U and you want them to win a game. For a lot of those kids, it's a way out, not just for them, but for their whole family. It's a way to break a cycle of poverty in their entire family. And who the fuck am I or you to tell them they're wrong for making a decision they make that they think is best for them or their family, That's why, y'all, I get so triggered when fans call kids, student athletes, punks or thugs or quitters or, I'm like, fuck you. You don't know a fucking goddamn thing about what's going on in their life. Like that, it really bothers me how judgmental grown people are toward 18, 19, 20, 21 years old when you don't know dick about what's going on in their life. Like, it really pisses me off. You know, we're the adults. We're supposed to be the ones with perspective, like with life perspective. But for most of us, all we see is wins and losses. And yeah, fuck, it's bigger than that. It just is. That's why y'all want to know why I'm so pro student athlete. That's why. Kid can transfer, not have to sit out. Great. Kid can make some money on NIL. Great. Kid can transfer within the conference. Great. College football is a billion-dollar business built on the backs of free labor. You give them something, I'm good with it. Let's see, John DeLon, I do not believe Jimbo takes the leap next year. Well, there's a fucking surprise. An LSU fan who doesn't think Jimbo's going to take a leap. I'm telling you, the roster he's building, y'all better be on the lookout. I'm not telling you I can win it all next year. I'm just telling you, if you continue to be naive to what he's building there, that's, bro. Dustin Blanchard, what's up? Of course, you should add b-ball players to GameCoin. Okay. If we did that LSU sway, would you go buy GameCoin? That's really what we need. Is we need conversion. We need people to go open up a GameCoin wallet and buy some tokens. That's what we really need. Any thoughts on who might be the new wide receiver coach, passing game coordinator for Georgia? Don't know. No clue. Start with Eason and Pinson as GameCoin ambassadors. They pitched us Eason, Fudge, Murray, Reed, and who's the fifth? Gaines. Those are the five they pitched us. Horribly overpriced. There's no way we would do it for the price that they threw out. It's fucking ridiculous. Let's see. John DeLon. I think Jimbo gets fired next 3 to 4 years. That's stupid. Have you looked at his contract? And spare me the buyout. I understand what the buyout is. They're not firing him in 3 to 4 years. I saw on Twitter they ranked SEC. Oh, we did that one. All right, Brent. John DeLon said I didn't read his full opinion. All right, I'll go back. I do not believe Jimbo takes the leap. He no longer has Elko to carry his antiquated offense, and I think he's going to have no clue how to manage all those NIL-induced egos in the coming season. Okay, so the Elko point, fine. He's also got better talent now. And an antiquated offense argument is really not smart because that antiquated offense beat Alabama this year with a backup quarterback. Zach Calzada is hot trash. And the fact that he actually won games with Zach Calzada is a minor miracle. I don't know if he'll win big with Max Johnson. I really don't. And that's going to be a big part of whether or not he's able to succeed there in the long term. And the NIL egos thing is just you're just throwing darts because there's nothing that you have concrete anywhere to suggest that there's anything to that. So you're guessing based on nothing and no precedent. So I'll look at it and say he's got a really good roster. He's recruited a lot of really good players. And really good players in college football tend to win. And John, it's not about if they can afford the buyout. They're just committed to him is the point. It's not whether they can afford it or not. The point is they're committed. They didn't have to re-up him. They did this offseason. I mean, he was under a 10-year contract, but they gave him an extension and a raise because they're committed to him. Tried some old Rip the Hayride the other night. Pretty decent. The Rip 10. Rip 10 is pretty good. 12 is better. 15 is the best in my opinion. I think when you get older than 15, we get the 2023, I think it's too old. It's too oaky. I think 15 is the sweet spot. Almost like aging a steak. Where You can undercook a steak. You can overcook a steak. Same with whiskey. You can underage whiskey. You can overage whiskey. Okay. Let's see. I think we are just about done here. John DeLon is getting upset. Bullshit, he says. Remember how he handled Winston at Florida State when he had the lunchroom incident? Well, you mean when he was suspended for a game? He suspended Jameis Winston for a game. And then Jameis came out dressed, and Jimbo sent him back to the locker room. And they went undefeated, won a national championship. And then the next year they went undefeated and went to the playoff. What's your fucking point? Seems like he handled that pretty good. They lost in the college football playoff semis to Oregon. Seems like he handled it okay. Hey, if you're having the it doesn't work. Okay. The skip. All right, y'all. I think we're just about done. Do me a favor. 162 still watching. That's awesome. 135 likes. I'd love to get more likes than views. That'd be awesome. Do me a favor. As always, y'all. Especially if you're here on Facebook, Hudco Roofing. We're tagged in there. Hudco Roofing. HudcoRoofing.com. Need a roof repair, roof replacement, roof inspection. We can soft wash your roof. Hudco Roofing. HudcoRoofing.com. Gamecoin. TheGamecoin.net. First sports crypto with a purpose. Do your own research. But I'm confident you will find it is a disruptive crypto. We are fired up about it. Big things coming. It will transform not only Baton Rouge, but all of cryptocurrency. MyCleanLiving.net, air purifiers that proven to eliminate dozens of harmful pathogens, including COVID-19. Perfect for your office, for your home, for your vehicle, for big public spaces. The Air and Surface Pro can purify up to 3,000 square feet. That's great for your home. That's great for an office building. That's great for a grocery store. Check it out, mycleanliving.net, mycleanliving.net. And Crystal Poche over at Restored Motions. If you have chronic pain like I do, relief one session away at Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Okay, y'all. Clifford Moore, Chaser Fulton. I am leaning toward the Bengals. I'm not ready to make a pick yet, but I'm leaning toward the Bengals. Let's see. John DeLon. This is why people think you're a joke, Matt. Yet, John, you've been here for an hour and a half on a Wednesday night. Stunning. I tell you what, John, you fire up a Facebook Live or a YouTube here, and let's see if hundreds of people hang out with you for an hour and a half on a Wednesday night. This thing is not in it. I mean, you're just mad because I bitch slapped your opinion. That's the problem. Like, you made a point about handling egos, and I told you, well, the Jameis Winston thing, they went undefeated for 2 seasons. Lost 1 game in 2 years. Seemed to work okay. Next. And you're the one that's come. Oh, I'm sorry. You've been here for 45 minutes. That's so much better. You spent 45 minutes. So at 10 p.m. on a weeknight, you're watching me for 45 minutes, and that's somehow proving that you think that I'm a joke. The irony of it all is kind of hilarious. The people who say they hate you, but they watch all the time. They listen all the time. Stern talked about it in Private Parts in his book, I guess the movie too. But it's so true. I don't quite understand. People claim to hate you, but they're always there. They just can't quit you. They're like Brokeback Mountain. John is like Brokeback Mountain. He just can't quit me. Good to see you here, John. Seriously, keep coming back. Or don't. I'm good either way. All right, y'all have an awesome night. Appreciate y'all for being here. Smash the like button on the way out if you haven't done it yet. And we'll see you in a few hours from Morning Scone. Peace, y'all. Be well. See ya. Even you, John.